Brought to you by Professor Michio Kaku. This is Science Fantastic.
Welcome back to Science Fantastic. Once again, this is Dr. Michio Kaku, and we're going to take the next listener phone call. And once again, if you want to get on air, give us a call at 612-564-8135. Leave your name, call letters of the radio station or the website you're listening to, and the city you're calling from. And hey, have your thoughts resonated throughout the ether. Okay, well, let's take the next listener phone call.
Hi, Dr. Kaku. My name is Larry Chan. I'm listening to you on GCN. I would like to ask about green pea galaxies. I understand from a Scientific American article that green pea galaxies are these green-colored galaxies that are the oldest ones of the universe. But my question is, are they naturally green? Like, for example, if we were living like in the early universe and we were looking closely at a green pea galaxy, would it appear green to the naked eye? Or is that just some kind of false color image that they use with most other things in the universe? Another question I'd like to ask is, are nebulae that are colored green, are those actually like optically green, or is it just that you use color filters to make it look like it's green? So, for example, if we were standing like 1 light year away from a very large nebula, would the human eye perceive the color as emerald, or would it just look like that very grayish white, like mostly everything else in the universe? Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, you ask a rather embarrassing question because of the fact that when you see these glorious pictures from the Webb Space Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope, and then you ask yourself a question, well, is that really the true color of these objects? I mean, the light is so faint from these objects that they cannot be seen by the naked eye. If you're an astronaut in outer space, okay, facing these gigantic objects, what do you see? For the most part, you see nothing. Because first of all, they're extremely tiny, and the light exposure that is necessary to expose the film, as they say, is several hours to several weeks. In other words, the telescope has to be focused in and aligned to a certain star or galaxy for not just an instant of time, like a snapshot, but no, for days, for weeks. And so in other words, when you actually develop the film is, of course, not related to what you see as an astronaut if you simply peer out the window. And so if you're an astronaut in space looking out the window, you'll be rather disappointed because you're not going to see these glorious galaxies, these huge objects of tremendous radiance and brilliance. No, you're not going to see that because they're too faint, they're too distant, and most of the picture will come out black. Because, of course, the exposure time is not 1 second. The exposure time is days to weeks, even months, to get that glorious picture that you see in the newspapers. And so, yeah, a lot of the colors you see are going to be false colors. Now, that doesn't mean that galaxies inherently are different in terms of frequencies that they emit, okay? So, yes, galaxies inherently can have a certain color with respect to other galaxies. But with respect to your eyeball can't see any of these things, okay? Because they're too faint, they're too distant, and so it's something that your eyeball simply cannot resolve. And so the answer to your question is, well, it's part false color and part natural color. Most of it is false color because what you see with the Hubble and the Webb Space Telescope is enhanced by many, many, many folds, and therefore colors get distorted as a consequence. But yeah, there is an inherent color to galaxies when galaxies are compared to other galaxies. You can see that the light is shifted, the frequencies are shifted slightly, but not the way that your eyeball would think. Sorry about that. Okay, well, let me